All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's training on how to take control of the hidden profits in your home service website. My name is Jody Underhill. I'll be your host and trainer as we go through this information today. We give it a minute or so to let people hop on here whenever webinars just get started. As we do that, if you would, when you come in, if you just put in the box your name, where you're from. And the box that I'm talking about is right over here on the right-hand side of your computer screen. If you're on a computer, there's a little gray bar that says questions. You can go ahead and put a 1 or a yes in there. Let me know you can hear my voice and see my screen. It shows that it is and that it's recording and that the screen is showing, but that would help me out if you just let me know that you can. Excuse me. And hopefully the cough won't continue. So with that, all right, I got a one's coming in. Cool. All right, thank you. So what we're going to do today, as we get started moving through here, Homeland, okay, thanks. All right, so what we're going to talk about today on today's training is we're going to look at how to take control of your marketing and set up an online sales machine to bring in new customers like clockwork. But let me qualify something to begin with. I'm not here to sell you any services, okay? I'm here to train you. I'm here to share some things that you can actually put into place and some things you can do on your own. That you don't need any help to do, that you can do on your own. Because we're also going to look at why the number one thing your business needs doesn't work. Now, we can stick to exactly back to my presentation, or if you have any struggles or any problems that you're having right now with your marketing, if you want to put those in the box and just let me know, I can actually cover those and dig into them a little bit for you as we're going through and doing the webinar, so you can put those in as we go. Next is the most important thing you need to know about your website visitors. There is something that they all have in common that once you understand it, it actually puts you in a position to have them schedule more service appointments with you. And by doing that, we're going to look at how to grab the attention, sort of giving it away a little bit about what the secret is, or the important thing is grabbing their attention and then building trust in the process. That's very important whenever it comes to any time someone is having someone come to their home to provide services. So they have to know that that's a company that they can know, like, and trust. And then how to create offers that convert visitors into booked appointments. It has to do with the offer, and it's not always about the free estimate. The free estimate probably is the thing that most everyone sees, and it's usually the least opted in thing that people opt in for on the website. So here's how this training is going to work today. We're going to cover what we call the 4 core elements of marketing your business. And the first one is your web presence and automation. We're going to dig into that. When somebody sent me an email and said, so what are the profits? Well, we're going to look at the profits that are in your website or your web presence and how to go about automating getting those out. We're also going to look at a traffic source that most of you are aware of, but you may not know how to optimize in order to bring in more leads. I work with some very large home service businesses, and I work with some medium, and I work with some small home service businesses, and everyone usually has the same thing in common, and that is more leads. More leads need more leads. And the thing is that with that is you're going to have multiple traffic sources, but there's one I'm going to share with you that you probably already have in place, but may not be optimized to where it's going to bring in more leads for you. Then we're going to look at your reputation and why that's so important. And then we're going to look at social. But before I get there, I have a quick question, and that is, have you ever wondered what it is that the mega successful home service businesses know that others don't? When I talk mega successful, I have a buddy who has a garage door business. It's one of the largest ones in Arizona, and he has 80 trucks. That's a mega successful business. So what is it that he put in place? What is it he knows? He started 8 years ago with 1 truck, and now he's got 80. Well, here's a quick story. Once upon a time, there were 2 home service professionals. They were both a lot like each other. They both graduated from the same program. They both were better than average students in the program. They worked 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. And I know some of you, they're like, well, great, that's only half days, right? 12 hours. And then they both recently attended an industry event. And when they did, they ran into each other, and they were still both a lot like each other. They're both happily married. They both had 3 children, and they both owned and operated their own business. The thing is that that's where the similarities ended, because the first one was running a small shop, struggling to bring in enough cash flow to keep themselves and their staff busy. And the other was growing in leaps and bounds, enjoying a steady stream of new affluent customers every single day. So what happened? What was the difference? What made it so that they were so different whenever they had all the same things? They both got the same grades, they both put in the same hours, and they both had the same ambition. So when it comes down to it, it's not time, money, or skill, because those were equal, right? Those were equal across the board. Well, the money might not have been because one was making more, but at one point the money was exactly the same. They're probably charging close to the same thing, but the difference in the money is how much the other one is making. So what the mega successful home services businesses know that others don't, they have specific information that gives them the ability to capitalize on the number of leads that come in. The information I'm about to share with you has never been publicly revealed before, but the fact is that it's a very simple bit of information. It's a very easy process to implement because the road to success leaves clues. And if we both have a map and we both know where we're starting from and we both know the destination, the map has to get us there because we both have exactly the same map. Now, I know today we have Waze and we have Google Maps and some people still use Apple Maps, but the fact is that it has to work, just like the combination of a safe. If you know the numbers, it has to open for you no matter what, unless you don't know where you're starting from. And the only thing you should ever entrust your business growth to is one thing, and that is a bulletproof system. So in looking at what's the most important thing a business needs to start capturing more business online, go ahead, take a second and just drop that in the box for me. Let me know what you think it is that you need to have in place to capture more business. All right, Greenleaf says Facebook. Well, social media is definitely important, and and Facebook is important, but it's not the most important thing. Right Way says emails. Yes, but you have to get the emails first in order to be able to market to them. So here's what it is. It's a high converting website or landing page. I know what you're thinking. Hey, we have a website. Well, the fact is it a high converting website? How many leads are you getting from that website on a daily basis? How many are coming there? The landing page, how many are converting? How many are actually calling you from your tracking number or putting their information into a form to set an appointment? It's dropping drastically for most home service businesses. And the fact is, it's not your fault. The online marketing has changed more in the last 18 months than in the last several years. And it just takes a little bit of time for adjustments to happen to be able to catch up. Here's the deal. What has made that change? Eastside says cell phones. Exactly. Well, actually, it's smartphones. And look, this is not about a mobile website. I know everyone's website is mobile optimized. It may be, but is it mobile friendly? Look, 57% of US online traffic now comes from mobile devices. And I know we have people on here from the UK, people from Australia, people from Canada. That's basically the same anywhere you go, right? So 57% comes from mobile devices. Actually, it's now, since this is more, it's over 60% now. So what does that mean? Well, I mean, now 88% of consumers who search for a type of business on a mobile device call or go to that business within 24 hours. In the home service industry, it's usually within an hour, if not sooner, because why are they looking? It's event driven, right? Most of you survive on event driven calls. The air conditioning out, there's a leaking pipe. Something along that nature is causing them to call you. So if they do that, they go look for the information. If it doesn't load properly, they're going to leave. 8 in 10 customers would stop engaging with content that doesn't display well on their device. And I'm going to show you some information that looks like it should display, and it does display in a mobile optimized way, but not in a mobile friendly way. And here's what's happened. Because of sites like Facebook and e-com stores like Amazon, it's changed how we consume information online. Because with almost 60% of users using mobile, scrolling with your thumb now is more convenient. Clicking is not. And I'm going to share with you why every time they click, it's putting you in jeopardy of them leaving. It's just a cold hard fact that if on your website, they have to click to go to your contact us page and then click to, after they put the information in, it's going to cause them to leave because their scrolling is more natural. That's why the number one thing a business needs doesn't work right now. Because if you look at it, A website basically is just a group of pages online with hyperlinks that with single topic, and we all know what a website is, but what is it that we need it to be? See, right now, websites are just like brochures. They aren't designed to do anything except sit there and be read, and it's all about you. It's all about your business. It's all about what you want to share with them, but most of the time it's just focused on you wanting them to become a lead. Well, we have to put the information in a different way so that we grab their attention and appeal to them and build trust in the process. But right now it's like a brochure. And we know what happens to most brochures. They go right in the trash can. When's the last time you bought anything from a brochure? Look, the website is so critical because it's where all the elements that have led someone to you culminate with them choosing to do business with you. Most of the time, the phone call comes from them finding the information online. Granted, there's referrals, and we're going to talk about the new currency in referrals in just a little bit. But right now, if you take a lead, if you bring somebody in from Facebook or from Google or from paid advertising, and you send them to your website, it's like taking a hungry person and dropping them right in the middle of Walmart. There's too many things to distract them, to keep them from actually taking the action that you want them to take. They may make their way over to the food section because they're really, really hungry, or they may get distracted along the way by other sections of the store. Clicking on going and watching it, clicking on a video, clicking on going to your Facebook page, going to your Instagram page, going to the services page. Anytime they click, you're running the risk of losing them forever. They get distracted. Now, they may, as I said, walk out empty-handed. And that's what happens a majority of the time. Because here's some facts about websites in the service industry. Did you know that the best websites are only getting about 3% of their website visitors to contact them or buy? Because most of them don't stay long enough to even fill anything out. That means 97% of your website visitors typically are leaving without converting, and they have no intention of returning. So what do we do about that? How do we go about changing it? Well, the first step is we don't want visitors to just read. We want them to take action and convert into customers. Yes, I know that that's a vet on the screen, and we're talking about home services. The thing that I'm going to share with you and the way the information is set up, it doesn't matter if you're a medical practice, if you're a home services, if you're auto repair, it doesn't matter. The psychology behind what I'm going to share with you works the same no matter what the industry is, because every one of those basically depends on the same things, right? They depend on leads, depend on reviews, reputation, and social, all of the things considered. So the number one thing you need to know about your website visitor, I told you I was going to share this, is, but we all remember 3 stations and 2-minute commercials, right? Well, maybe not everybody does, but ABC, NBC, CBS, and a commercial came on, you had no recourse but to sit through it. You couldn't fast forward, you couldn't bleep it out, you didn't have to watch it, but you had to sit through it. Well, today with social and cell phones, our attention is everywhere, which means it's nowhere. So I was this goldfish on the page. See, in the year 2000, you had 12 seconds to capture someone's attention. That would be an eternity today, because in 2018, studies show that you now have 8 seconds to capture their attention. And the reason the goldfish is there is because that's 1 second less than a goldfish's attention span. So a human landing on a website has less attention span than a goldfish. That's the thing you need to know, and the thing that you need to keep in mind. So how do you break through in less than 8 seconds? Well, we used to say content is king. You had to have a bunch of robust content on your website for people to read and consume, so they blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of stuff, right? Well, now, if you look at content versus design, design is winning out. And I don't mean design from the standpoint of what size the widgets are. I mean the design of the information and the information flow, and yes, sometimes even color schemes, because our brain processes visuals 60,000 times faster than reading text. We've all heard that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and whenever it comes to a home service website, it can be even more than that. So Elizabeth Silence did research, and this is on the trust and mistrust of health sites, but it has to do with people trusting the information they see on a website. They studied 15 women that for 4 consecutive weeks that were faced with a medical risk health decision, and 94% of them cited the design of a website, and only 6% cited the content in relation to the number of times they rejected a site. What your site looks like can make a difference in if someone chooses to do business with you or not. So look, Trust and value are why we buy. Bottom line, we have to trust you and we have to feel the value is there in order for us to do that. Good design builds trust, and good design is part of your reputation. I doubt that any of you are riding around with trucks that are completely dirty and haven't been washed in 6 months and need repairs. You don't let your techs go out with their shirt tails untucked and cigarettes on their breath and dirty fingernails, hopefully, right? That's still part of design. Most of you, I'm sure, have your trucks wrapped or your vans wrapped with your logo, with your information, because it's part of your reputation. See, both online and offline, you have to look at if your brand inspires trust, because your brand is the story that your market believes about the products, expertise, service, and value that you offer. Here's the thing. You have a digital footprint and you have a digital shadow. Your digital footprint online is the information that you put online about yourself. Kind of like when you're walking on the beach, you leave a footprint in the sand. You can decide where you're going to step, how much, if you're going to step on your toes or your heel or your whole foot. You can control your footprint. You can't control your shadow. Your shadow is based on outside force, right? The sun shining on you and your body casting the shadow. Well, that's what happens when people are commenting about you online, leaving reviews, saying things on your Facebook page. That's your digital shadow. It's what others are saying about you. Look, most businesses start here. Everything's cluttered. Let's get everything on that we possibly can. We need to put everything in place. And they think because there's so much stuff there that it's got to be good, when what they want is really this. They want to look like the upper level, the Ritz-Carlton of service and of style. And if you look at the website, it's the same thing. Most businesses start here, and what they really need, not want usually, is this. It's got to be very specific, very few words on the page, just the ability, and also a very narrow focus of exactly what you want them to do. And even though this says schedule my consultation, it's typically not that. So we want them to take action. So what are the actions that we want them to take? Well, the first is a click. Now, I know earlier I said the more times they click, the more chances are of them leaving, but I'm going to show you how we can have them click without leaving the page. That's the important part. Next is subscribe or opt in. And you can type in there what you want them to do. Once they click, you want them to subscribe or opt in is you're getting them to give you their name and email, right? That's a lead. If you're using services like Home Advisor or Thumbtack, what do? You get the lead comes to you on your phone, right? Or in your email. So it's giving you a name and a phone number typically, and maybe an email address. Well, in this case, the only person that's getting these leads is you, right? So when they opt in and they're giving you their name, their phone number, and their email address, it's just coming to you. The next best thing is a call. Actually, it's usually the best thing, right? Because if you can get them on the phone, you can talk to them. And if people could only give you a chance to talk to them, that would show them how much different you are and what your special value is to be able to have them choose you over the competition. And then finally, it's an order. And yes, even with home services, you can get people to place an order online before you ever go to their house. And I promise you, whenever someone has made a micro commitment order, they're going to keep the appointment. You're not going to get there and have them not show up. So that's what we want them to do. But there's 5 questions that every website visitor asks before they contact you. And you have to think about this as you're putting your information together. The first is, will this solve my problem? Do you have an offer on the page that's going to solve the reason that they're calling? And you're not going to be able to do it 100% of the time, but look at the 80-20 rule and look at the time of year it is. So right now, there's someone on here from Las Vegas. So in Las Vegas, it's really, really hot right now. Hell, it's really hot everywhere. So right now, for air conditioning, it's going to be an offer for them for the checkup for the AC or a system maintenance or something of that nature. Use the 80-20 rule and make the offer what 80% of your business is coming from 20% of the calls, right? Or the calls are basically 80% of them are 20% of the same problem. Do I have to decide now? No urgency means no decision. You got to make them feel like they're going to be missing out on something if they click away from your page. It's got to be that strong. It's got to be, well, I've got to do this because no one else is offering anything like this. We're going to talk about ways to find that. Also, they want to know they're getting the best. Well, how is that? Reviews, plain and simple. Do you have reviews on your site? I'm going to show you not only that you should have them on your site, but how you should position them in your web presence so that you can get the most traction out of it, because they also are asking themselves if they're going to regret this. Look, we're all scared. When we call a plumber or HVAC guy or anybody like that that's coming to our house to provide service, are we going to get the best, or is there something going to happen? Are we going to be told the truth? Are we going to be given the real deal? Or is it going to be something where they come in and just try to sell us the moon? So we have to make sure, and the thing with that is, again, it's reviews. And then, am I paying a good price? Right now, you can shop anything online. You got to be able to position it so that they see they're getting the best service at the best price. With all those things in mind, what's the number one tool that a business has to get conversions? Now, earlier I said it was a high converting website or landing page, but we're already talking about the conversion. So when they get there, they're already coming to the site. So what's the tool to get the conversion? Right? Somebody says lead capture. Well, yeah, we want to get them we want to capture the lead, but here's the thing, is it's your story. It's the story that you tell that makes them feel safe and comfortable with you coming to their home. And since most people aren't putting that on the front and center on their website, by doing that, you're able to make them feel, you grab their attention, and also build trust in the process by telling your story. And the next thing is, the number two tool is ability to split test. Well, I mentioned the HVAC checkup offer. Well, maybe that might not be. What's going to work better? The tune-up, a $99 tune-up or a $49 tune-up? Which one's going to get them to convert more? Because really, what do you want to do? You want to get there and take it apart, right? And I don't mean take it apart in a negative way. You need to get in to take it apart in order to see what's wrong, because that's where you start to increase your profits. Not in a negative way, just by the fact of being able to analyze and diagnose what it is. So how do you tell your story with a beginning, middle, and end with a 10-page plus website? Well, the fact is, it's really hard to do. It's all chopped up and discombobulated, and it's all over the place. And there's the home page and about us and contact us and services, and they're clicking all over the place. Also, how do you split test a 10-page website? Again, it's hard to do because you're sending them to your home page whenever they first come there, or sending them to another page. It's hard to test which one's converting better. So the two most important things that you need to get websites to convert better really isn't possible right now, the way that they're set up. And it's not anyone's fault. It's just the reality. And the fact is that you need a new solution. And I'm not trying to sell you any. It's on the next thing I'm going to show you. I'm just telling you what the solution looks like. So it's called a brand site website funnel, and it's one page. It's a funnel that's designed to move the visitor into the sales process. It tells a story with a beginning, a middle, and end to help the visitor make a decision to choose you. And it's a very systematic psychological process that we go through to make that happen. Because like I said, your brand is a story that your market believes about you. So you start off with visitors that are looking for services. You have your story laid out in a funnel format. You start off with why you're different, then share what your products or services are, your reputation, and then finally your value. So what if instead of building a multiple page website brochure, which is basically what everybody has right now, what if we were able to build a single page funnel that was designed to convert visitors? What would that look like? That's what I'm going to be sharing with you for about the next probably 10 minutes, is exactly what that looks like. And again, like I said, you could take what I'm sharing with you and implement it yourself, or give it to someone else to implement. That I'm going to share with you the exact formula that we use. So this is a funnel versus a website. It's one page versus multiple pages. The funnel, the story is clear. It's confusing on a website. If you have user-friendly scrolling and navigation, it's only up and down. There's not a lot of clicking. A website is hard to navigate. You funnel them to take one action. Now you can have different actions, but it's still focusing them on the action you want them to take everywhere they look. Because the confused mind always says no, and we don't want them to be confused about where to go next. Also, there's usually no clear action steps on a website. Yeah, your phone number's up there and call us, and you may have the thing for them to opt in for a report, but is that really the action? Split testing. Can't do it with a website. 6 to 10 calls to action on the brand site funnel. Now, I know that seems overly salesy, and none of us want to be salesy, right? Because whenever I ask a group of people, it doesn't matter if it's 100 or 500 people, if to type in what's the first word that comes to mind whenever I say salesperson, and they use a sleazy, slimy, liar, blah, it's a negative thing. So are we going to be overly salesy with 6 to 10 calls to action? No, it's done systematically in a way that they don't have to go anywhere else to click, to opt in. Almost no calls to action on a website. The funnel is mobile friendly. Again, there's a difference in mobile optimized and mobile friendly. Mobile optimized means you don't have to pinch and zoom. Mobile friendly means you just scroll with a thumb. You don't have to do any clicking. You can track conversions, and it's hard to track conversions on the website. So we created something called a story block. It's a block of content that's critical to telling your story. So it starts off like, it looks like this on a laptop. And the cool thing about it, whenever it transitions over to a mobile device, so you can see the blocks there with the green lines around them. When it transfers over to a mobile device, it looks almost exactly the same. And you notice how you have the calls to action there that aren't overly salesy. So you tell your story with images, text, color, and design in a story block that looks like this that gets them to move down the line. So how do you tell your story rather than a desktop? Well, this is Monarch Dental. I know it's not a home service one, but it's the same thing. I can pull one up. A website is a website. This is a payment process options. This is what it looks like on a phone, right? 60% of website visitors see something that looks like a tax audit when they look at something that has text on your website. It's not very conducive to converting. And looking at it, so if you have your website content like this or like this, which one will keep them more engaged and tell your story? Obviously the one on the right, number 2. So how does it work? Well, you start off with, you differentiate your brand with a 21 story block formula. And I'm going to show you what each of those blocks is here in just a second. The visitor comes there, they see the information, they see your story, they opt in, the system automatically provides them with a thank you that you're going to be in touch with them, and then they go into an email campaign, they stay on your list, because what most people don't do is capture information to send an email out to people at the beginning of the summer. You know, do you have an email list that you're currently emailing on a regular basis? And I can promise you that they do want to hear from you, and they're not going to feel like you're that you're overloading them or that you're just sending them too many emails. They can delete it. So let's show you what a brand site funnel looks like. It's optimized and designed. It's designed to create trust and optimized for converting visitors into customers with a very deliberate framework. Now I know this is a landscaping, and you may be a plumber or HVAC company. It's the same thing. So in this case, they be the envy of your neighborhood, get a free custom landscape analysis. What is a landscape analysis? That's just another way of framing free estimate, right? So, but it lends itself to more opt-ins because they want to get the free custom landscape analysis. You can do the same thing, right? You can do the complete analysis of their heating and cooling system or their plumbing system or whatever the thing is. The free estimate is kind of like, is basically just saying, they're giving you the right to go to their house, right? So we want to position it where they feel like they're getting additional value other than just what it's going to cost to fix it. They want to have options. Now, I know a lot of you are using the good, better, best solutions, and those are great. People like that. But in this case, we want to sort of give them a warm, fuzzy feeling before they even do that. So you have an attention-getting headline. You have an attention-getting image, an attention-getting offer. In this case, it's hard for me to read. It's get a manicured lawn and creative landscaping that will make your neighbors jealous without spending your time doing the work, without spending your valuable time doing the work. Get your free custom landscape analysis. How are they going to do that? Well, because they're going to provide them landscaping services. Then you have an attention-getting button. There's no doubt that that's a button, right? It's a different color. You click on it. I've seen a lot of places where the call to action button blends in, right? We don't want it to stand out. No, yes, you do want it to stand out. It needs to be a contrasting color. There needs to be no doubt that that's what you want them to do. And then your promise. This is missing on most of them. Your promise a lot of times is on the About Us page, but I think there was a study. I think less than 15% of people actually look at the About Us page. So you got to put it in front of them so that they can see that. That's how we build that know, like, and trust you factor. Then, as you review these, ask yourself how your website is stacking up to this. So keep in mind, as I go through here, this is all on one page. So all they're having to do is scroll up and down. So the next thing is a detail of your services offered, and not just a list of your services with action-based imagery. You want to have action-based imagery showing images of what it is that you do. That makes them feel comfortable. And also, like I said, pictures are worth 1,000 words. Then a clear call to action. And then client reviews and with pictures of your clients. Wait a minute, we don't have permission to post pictures of our customers. If they leave a review for you on Google or leave a review for you on Yelp and the images there, or on Facebook and their images there, it's in the public domain, you can use it. You can tell them, I gave you permission. The other thing is, put the trust symbol on there. Put where the review is from. When there's a picture of someone and a name and their review, people believe it more. Whenever you just put Dave B without a picture and without any other information, it looks like it could be contrived. Then you want to have an additional clear call to action with an offer. And it can be the same offer or a different offer at the top of the page. But again, we don't want them to have to move to opt in. A lot of times you'll see sites where the offer's at the top, they get to the bottom of the page and they have to figure out how to get all the way back, and you lose them. We want to, the confused mind always says no, and we want to make this as simple as possible for people so that they can opt in as easy as possible. Then you have clear, concise, easy to read text blocks with imagery. You can see there's pictures all the way through this, because action-based imagery balanced with the text blocks. If you'll notice, I had someone, HVAC contractor was building out a funnel, and they sent it over to me to look at, and the little nuances. Look at the difference in the fonts. It may be a little bit hard to, but look, there's the font. If you look at that yellow section, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different fonts and sizes of print. Now, if you were writing something in a Word document, that would be confusing as heck. But when it's on a site like this, it has to be done that way so that so people consume the information. And it goes right, left, right whenever it comes to moving down the page. These are all the psychological things that go into place to make it so that they feel comfortable to convert. Then real photos of your team members. Well, I'm a one-person shop. Good. Put the team member there and tell your story. Additional client testimonials and reviews build trust for new prospects. And I'm going to tell you the power of having a testimonial video and how you can actually use that and get it ranked on the first page of the search engine here in just a little bit. And then additional clear call to action everywhere they go. And we're not done. There's still another section. And again, this is all on one page. Then you want to have easy to read FAQs. Most visitors have the same questions, so save yourself and your team some time and answer them here. You said when they call, they have the same kind of questions. The other thing is to get them to opt in, don't think about it as just about a free estimate. What do people want to know? Like whenever they go there, you provide them with something some kind of checklist that they can go through to help determine when they should call, right? So like for instance, in auto repair, it's, can I drive with my check engine light on? Well, yeah, you can, but you should never drive whenever it's flashing. Whenever my AC doesn't work, what should I check first, right? Looking at those things. My water bill was twice as much as it was last month. What are some of the things I should check? And yeah, I know that people can check online, but guess what? If they check online and they find the information from you, who do you think they're going to call to come fix the problem where they use twice as much water? We had an old abandoned swimming pool on the property that we bought, and we had a swimming pond put in. And it's about 9,000 gallons. When they put natural rocks in, they have to flush it out over and over again. And so with that, we used like 3 times more water. So they just left a thing on our door and said, you have a leak. Well, we didn't. We had a pool. So also your location block. Let them know where you are and your hours. Look, purchase-driven consumers, they have a problem. They're looking either for your phone number, probably not your address, but your phone number, your hours of operation. Are you 24/7? And also the phone number is the most important thing. You don't want them to have to scroll around to find it. Put it at the bottom of the page, and then a final call to action everywhere they go. So that's funnels and automation. Those are the things that you need to have in place whenever it comes to getting more people to convert. Now, let's look at traffic. Oh, I skipped it. Look at traffic. So there's tons of places to get traffic. And I mean, you get it from YouTube videos, from Facebook. My buddy with the garage door business, he has a e-com site that only traffic comes from YouTube videos selling garage door springs, and he does about 20 grand a month just in garage door springs. You have Google ads, Instagram, radio, TV, Pinterest, trade shows, retargeting, yeah, even a boomerang. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But the thing is that I'm going to share with you how to get traffic from one of these sources in a way that most of you might not be looking at. And when it comes to visibility, it's about making sure your customers can find you, right? So they go to Google and then they type it in. Well, getting your website on the first page of Google isn't as easy as it used to be, and it really isn't the main thing anymore, because what comes up when someone does a search for HVAC repair in their city or plumbing repair in their city, it's not usually websites. The first 5 to 6 to sometimes the entire page are listing directories. So you have to make sure you're listed where you need to be. I know that's nothing new, Jody. We know that. But the thing is, here's what you might not know. Right, so how many listings do you have right now online? Just take a second, type in the box down there for me, interact with me here a little bit. How many listings do you think that you have online right now? Go ahead and just let me know that. All right, Green River says 12. That's good. All right. Western Plumbing says 15. All right. All Clear says 11. All right. So here's the thing. You should have at least 30 to 50 directories online. Well, that's crazy talk. Nobody who goes and looks at Foursquare anymore. Who's really looking on local.com or Merchant Circle? Those are just a waste of time. Well, people probably are not going and looking, but you know who is going and looking? It's Google. And it needs to be exactly correct everywhere you go. Name, address, phone number needs to be the same, letter for letter, character for character, right? So we have Green River on here. So if it's Green River, it's Green River Limited on one and Green River LLC on another, Green River Plumbing on, if the last word is different, or if Green and River are together in one and a space in another. If it's 123 Elm Street and you put ST on one and STREET in another, they look at it as not being the same business, so you're not getting credit for it. Have you ever wondered why there's people that show up in the 3 box possibly that have less reviews than you and yet they're in the 3 box? Probably because they have a more robust online presence whenever it comes to the directories. That's a writer downer. Go look. How do you know? You can go online and put in free online presence analysis, and it'll pull up free tools for you to go put your business name and phone number in, and it'll do an analysis for you. And the thing is, whenever they're wrong, it drives customers crazy. I was talking to this one company, and I noticed that they had 3 different addresses. They're like, yeah, that address was from 5 years ago. I was like, does anybody ever go there and then call you and they're upset because they went there and you're not there anymore? I said, yeah, one guy called and said, there's not even a building there anymore. Well, the thing is that how many people are doing that and not calling? The same thing is happening with your hours, with your phone numbers. And I know there's tracking numbers. You want to have the numbers as consistent as possible, because accurate listings makes customers happy and Google happy. The more consistent they are, the higher up in Google you'll appear. And getting in that 3 box is crucial. Now I know there's also now the certified listings for home services to be able to list it at the top of your Google certified, and there's a whole process with background checks and everything you need to go through. And again, it's reviews and listings. They look at that entire presence whenever they're looking at that. And one of the things they look at is reputation. So why is reputation important? Because search results are like a shopping mall where every store sells the same exact product or service. Everywhere they're looking, when they're looking at your services, it looks exactly the same as the next guy. So what do people look for? Well, first they look for the star rating. People will not do business typically with businesses that have 3 stars, and only about 20% of people said they would do business with 4 stars. So the star rating is important. The next is the number of reviews. You're going to do business with somebody that has 100 reviews or 10 reviews. Doesn't even matter if they had 10 reviews and a better rating. If they have 178 and a couple points, not stars, but like 4.7 instead of 4.9, you're going to go with the one with more reviews. And then different review sites. You put in the name of your business in your city, it's going to pull up your Google Map listing. I guarantee you that it will have more than just your reviews on Google. It'll also pull in reviews from Yelp. It'll pull in reviews from Facebook. It'll pull in reviews from Thumbtack. It'll pull in reviews from any number of places. Anywhere that you have reviews, it'll list them. It may not list all of them, but it will list more reviews than just Google. So a lot of people don't even go look at the reviews, because I had one. So if you look at how to respond to negative reviews, you want to, first of all, don't argue with the person online. We're so sorry that's how you feel. Not that you're sorry that that's what happened. You're sorry that's how they feel. You can't help how they feel, because most one-star ratings are not justified. I know they're not, and most people know they're not. So when you respond to it, it puts you in a better light. So I'm so sorry that's how you feel, that's how you feel your experience was. As you can see from most of our reviews, most of our customers are extremely happy with our service. I want to welcome the opportunity to be able to have a conversation with you. Please call my personal phone number. Boom. Even if they don't respond, and 99% of the time they won't, and they won't even call, it still shows that you responded to it. It still shows that you care. Don't argue with them. The other thing most people don't realize is you'd also respond to positive reviews. That way the negative reviews don't stand out, okay? I had, when I was talking with an HVAC company, it was HVAC and plumbing, is up in Rochester, New York, and they did an analysis for them, and they had a one-star review on Google. Actually, it was on Yellow Pages, and they never looked at Yellow Pages. And it was a one-star review from Alice, and Alice said how great the young man that came out was. He quoted a price. It was exactly that price. He spoke with his wife in the office. She was so nice. She would recommend them to anyone. 1 star. Now, do you think if she would have looked at that and would have called and Alice would have gone and changed the rating? Absolutely. So you have to look at what are people saying and where are they saying it. There's no more of the, hey, I'm not going to put myself out there to get reviews. They're going to put your business there no matter what. So a negative or missing online reputation can make your paid advertising work for your competitors. Why? Because they look at your information, they go back and they look at other companies, and if you have a worse review than someone else, that paid advertising could go towards them. But there is a way that you can combat this, and I promised I would share this with you. So right now, whenever you type in your business name into Google, the drop down is called Google Suggest. It will have several things with your business name. One of the things it will have is your business name and then the word reviews. And that's what a lot of people look for. And when they do that, it's going to pull up the reviews that are on other sites that you aren't controlling. So what do you want to do? Well, this is a writer downer. You want to create videos, yes, videos, and they don't have to be a video of the person. It can be a video of the testimonial. It can be a screenshot of the testimonial with someone reading it. It doesn't have to be fancy. And then you simply put it online, you put it on YouTube with your business name and the word reviews. And Google will index it, and since not hardly anybody else is putting information online with your business name and the word reviews, it's going to make those videos show up on the first page. It's going to allow you to have 3 or 4 videos on there that's going to push anything negative down. So that's my tip on using videos for reputation. It's very easy. The other thing is Google loves YouTube because they own it. And since very few people are putting information online with your name and reviews, it's going to rank. Then we look at social. And I love it or hate it, it's here to stay, and we need to embrace it because there are over 2 billion people online. Hell, there's over 2 billion people on Facebook alone. 93% of them expect you to have a presence on social media, and 85% of them expect you to interact with them on social media. So if you go to your Facebook fan page, with that little messenger box pops up, what does it say the average response time is? Is it usually responds within a few minutes, usually responds within an hour, usually responds within a few hours, usually responds within a few days. If it usually responds within a few days, they're gone. You see, social media gives you the opportunity to connect with nearby customers, but you have to know how to get your information in front of them. And there's a viral strategy sitting right under the nose of most local business owners. And you'll notice, as I said at the beginning, it's local business owners, not small business owners. I don't look at any local businesses being small. It's the backbone of our country. It's local businesses, and they don't even realize it. Here's the thing. What percentage of people do you think see a post that you make on your Facebook page? Let's say that you're doing great and you have 1,000 people that like your business on Facebook, and you make a post. What percentage of people to see that? All right, so I have somebody here says 15%. That would be great if they did. Right? No, it's 3% or less. 3% or less of the people see the post, and you can see it on your page. You can go in there and it shows you how many people it reached, and you can do the math, and that's the average that it comes out to. Why? Because Mark Zuckerberg likes to get paid, and he wants you to have to boost that post for more people who like your page to see it, and other people as well, but even the people who already like your page to see it. So here's the viral strategy for you. At the top of that page, you have a cover image. That cover image is key because that's the first thing people see when they come there. But the viral strategy is changing that cover image at least once a month. And also, when you change it, make it so that it's something relevant and use it for marketing. Make it so that something that's about, like I said, this month we had 4th of July. Next month it's this summer celebration, but make it something that has an offer there as well. Because here's why. When you change out your cover image, every person, it shows up in the news feed of every person who likes your page. I'll say that again. When you change your cover image, it shows up in the news feed of every person who likes your page. Now, does that mean every person sees it? No, but every person has the chance to now because it shows up in their news feed. And here's another cool thing. Most people on Facebook have an average of 200 friends. If they engage with your cover image, that's going to show up in the news feed of all of their 200 friends. So it starts to expand, and if they engage with it, there's another 200 and another 200. You've all seen the whole network marketing pyramid thing. Well, except in this case, it starts at the bottom and expands going out, right? So it kind of works the same way, because if one sees it engage and someone else sees it engage, it starts to expand. Does that mean it's going to happen every time? No, but it sure gives you a heck of a lot better chance than never changing your cover image. And most of the time, if you look at it, most cover images are at least 6 months old. There's several other strategies, but that's one that's, like I said, I'm going to give you things that are easy to implement and that you can do right away. That's something that everybody on here could go do right now. You could even change the image to something that's already another image that was already there, and it's going to show up, right? So we've looked at funnels and web presence. We've looked at traffic. We've looked at reputation, and now we've looked at social. So right now, you're at a crossroad, and that crossroad is this. We polled a bunch of people, and what came back from that poll is that we asked, when it comes to online marketing for your business, would you rather have someone come in and offer you a turnkey solution? Would you rather do it 100% yourself without any help, but just learning and gathering the information on your own? Or would you like to have someone do it with you? Have someone that you could turn to ask questions. Have someone that's there in your corner whenever you're getting ready to put something in place and give you advice so that you don't have to worry about if something is going to work or not. Because most of the respondents said their biggest fear was paying for something that they didn't know was going to work. And that's what happens the majority of the time. And when you look at it, look, your core business is something else. It's not marketing your business, right? You probably have you may be doing it yourself or have somebody on your staff that's doing it, but it's not the primary core function of your business. And it can all seem very difficult because there's a lot of moving parts to it. So here's what we've done. Like I said, I don't have any services that I'm going to offer you, but we do have a beta program to get your website converting more visitors. It's a one-time special offer that we're opening up to help businesses like yours convert more visitors into customers. Look, funnels cost thousands of dollars to create, but we're going to underwrite most of the costs in helping you create a brand site funnel. Notice I say helping you create a brand site funnel. Here's how we're going to do that. It's called the Home Services Marketing Mastermind. It's everything you need to create a dominating presence online, weekly training sessions to keep you on pace. We're also going to offer training for your staff with certification opportunities so that you know the pieces that you need to put in place. And here's the thing about a mastermind and why it's different than probably anything else that any other webinar you've been on or what anyone else is showing you. They've always offered you services. They've come in there, they've told you how they're going to get you on the first page of Google. Well, we're going to share with you and show you how you can take control of it. Not that you have to do it, but that you can feel comfortable with what's happening. Forbes said this is why your most important business move right now may be joining a mastermind. First is accountability of actually taking the steps that you need to get the more leads coming in. Regular connection, being able to connect with people that are actually doing this. Networking beyond your own, the networks beyond your own to be able to tap into. A trusted circle of colleagues to help you make decisions, like having your own board of directors for marketing decisions. Also, a chance to learn from other businesses and leaders. In this mastermind group, there are 6- and 7-figure businesses. There's even an 8-figure business, not 6, 7- and 8-figure businesses, sorry. And there are 7-figure business coaches that you have access to. A confidential space to discuss the challenges. Anything that you share stays in the mastermind. A laboratory to learn and experiment, and a reflection of your own wisdom to help others, because everyone has something they can provide. In addition, that's the mastermind. Everything else I'm going to share with you basically is a bonus to the mastermind. Next, we're going to give you access to our funnel building software. And the funnel building software is going to give you the ability to build a brand site funnel that we typically would charge $2,000 for. Now, yes, you're going to have to push some buttons, but we have templates already in place that you could literally go in and change the logo, change a couple of things in the business wording, and push a button and have a brand site funnel up and running for yourself. So in looking at it, there we go. The enterprise level funnel building platform is this. You have complete control. You're able to have unlimited pages and have 3 funnels, high converting funnel templates. It's the first ever drag and drop visual website funnel builder. Again, you don't have to do this yourself. You can have someone else do it, but we're giving you access. A drag and drop page builder. You can build websites, opt-in pages, sales pages, order pages, and integrate with a bunch of different CRMs. It typically costs $3,500 just to have access to the funnel building tool. This is a bonus for you in the mastermind, but hang around to the end. You're going to be amazed at how cheap this is. All right, so we're also going to do the heavy lifting for you. We're going to do the hosting, the split testing, the reporting, the SSL certificate, the virus protection, and the daily backups so that you don't have to be concerned with it. So it's all of those pieces, and we're going to provide a lead generation funnel. We're going to look at helping you develop your lead magnet, whether that's a report, like a guide to the perfect yard, or whether it's a discount or a discounted rate for a first-in opt-in offer. And we're going to give you the ability to have a profit funnel for your business. That's walking all the way through the steps. It's a 5-step process that allows you to have people pay you before they ever come in the door. And if we go through all of these pieces, let me get this where it's clicking right. There we go. These are the values of all of the pieces of the puzzle. The total value is around $14,243. You can get this by going to localgenius.com/HSMM for Home Service Mastermind. And if the first month is only $47, and then it's just $297 a month. $47 is pretty cheap to be able to have access to all of these things. Now, why $47? Why not free? Well, the reason is because anybody that won't spend $47 on improving their business isn't going to take the steps to implement what we're talking about anyway. And the other thing, $47 puts it within reach of any business, no matter what phase they're at. And once you have that, you'll be able to make up the difference within the first month of having the information and putting things in place. Look, what's the average ticket for home services? Typically around $250. One additional client would pay for the whole thing for you for the month after the first month. So in looking at it, it's localgenius.com. Let me put it in the chat box down here. local/HSMM. All right. Cool. Right Way said I'm in. All right. Good. Glad to have. So you didn't even let me answer the questions that a lot of people are putting in the box already. So in looking at it, here's something else. That we only have 20 spots, and the reason there's only 20 spots is because I'm providing my personal time. So why is it a big deal of me providing my time? Well, I've probably spent more time on funnels than just about anybody else in the almost world, probably. Working with the largest digital marketing company, actually being the president of the largest digital marketing company in the country, and building out 157 funnels in 35 different industries. So when it comes to setting these things up for different things, I've seen every aspect of that. We had 20, now we only have 7. Like I said, it gives you that my personal time, because if you have questions, they come to me. Some of the other things that are covered in the mastermind is we're going to learn the secrets with consistent new customer growth, access to marketing training, as I said, for your office staff. You can get results fast without trial and error, capture the full return of your marketing investment. And I'm not just talking about the mastermind. I'm talking about feeling comfortable and knowing that you're getting the return on what you're spending in total for your marketing investment. New proven tactics that are working now for local businesses. I mean, how many of you knew that if you changed out your cover image, you would get that in front of every person who liked your page? Not a lot of people know that. or that every listing, your name, address, and phone number had to be exactly the same, or Google didn't give you credit for it, or how to answer a negative review, right? You also learn how to automate a predictable, profitable campaign. And here's the thing, people have asked in here, does the brand site funnel replace my website? Probably not, because look at it this way. Your website is for your existing customers. A brand site funnel is for new people that are finding you to convert them into a customer. So if you have a 20-page website and you've had it in place for 5 years and it's ranking, no, a brand site funnel is not going to replace that. A brand site funnel is where you're going to want to send new traffic sources to. You're going to want to have the brand site funnel URL in all of your online directories, because when people find that, they're going to go to their brand site. You don't want to send them to your website because only 3% of those visitors convert. With a brand site funnel, it increases tenfold. It increases to over 30% typically whenever they come to a brand site funnel. We're going to teach you how to put those profitable campaigns. When you have 30% conversion, now you can start talking about having success and being able to actually buy customers. And when I say buy customers, I mean buy customers. You have to, how much is a lead worth to you? How much you're willing to pay for a lead? And this way, you're not sharing that lead with anyone. So I guarantee you, if with the right type of marketing, bringing those people into a brand site funnel, it's going to convert for you. So again, it's localgenius.com/HSMM. And again, it's $47. I mean, it's less than a cost for dinner for two. Right? And it doesn't have to be a fancy restaurant to be less than a dinner for two to be able to access this. Like I said, and if you're not willing to spend that, you're probably not willing to do this, put the steps in place or even use the training. So when do we start? We start every Monday. Every Monday starts off the new thing. Are the trainings recorded? Yeah, if you can't make it, look, I get it. Things happen. You're basically in an emergency response business. So, you may not always be able to make the training. If you can't make it or your staff can't make it, it's okay. It's recorded and it's put into a mastermind portal so that you not only have that recording, you have all of them, because you're going to want to go back through this. The way we share this information, we kind of bounce around a little bit to answer the burning desires of the people that are in the mastermind so that you're not stuck or stumble on anything. Are there any other costs? No, we're giving you full access to the funnel builder. The only other thing that might cost you something is buying a domain, because you're going to want to have a domain for your brand site that's not the exact same as your website. Does this work outside of the US? Yes, it works outside of the US. It works anywhere that the internet works, because human psychology is human psychology. It doesn't even matter the language. Now, it may read differently, but it works the same. Do we get access to everything at once? No. And that's not being mean, or it's not because we don't want you to have it. It's because if we gave you everything all at once, it would be overwhelming and you would probably just shut down, right? Because there's too many things, too many moving pieces. So we start off, we give you access to the funnel building software. We give you the instructions on how to set up and build out your brand site. And then we scale from there to the lead generation funnel, and then into developing your lead magnet, and then into building the profit funnel out for your business. So that's how it goes. What about SEO? Well, SEO, search engine optimization, these pages, this page, I should say, because it's not pages, this page is SEO friendly. And we go through ways of doing that. You have 10 specific keywords that you can optimize it with. You can also optimize the text, but keep in mind, it is one page. So it's not going to index and rank as quickly as a 20-page website. That's why the whole point of this is getting more website visitors to convert, and it's getting more website visitors, period. It's more visitors to your brand site. The more that go there, the more that are going to convert. Well, I said 30% versus 3%. I know it still sounds like a low number, but believe me, it's, if I said a tenfold improvement over a typical website. Let's see what else we got here. I think that is it. Do we need a new domain? Yes, I already answered that. You will want a new domain. You don't have to. If you're just sending paid traffic to it and not worried about them seeing it, because it's going to be www. whatever you put in there for your business name funnels.com, something like that. So you can use that, because if you're just sending traffic to it from Facebook or from Google. The other thing is, the other question says, is this PPC friendly, meaning pay-per-click friendly? Yes, because it is, even though Google per se doesn't like landing pages, this isn't classified as a landing page. This is classified as a website because of the robust amount of information that's on it. So yes, Google accepts it. Google does not penalize it. You won't get penalized for your PPC ads with this. All right, let's see what else we got here. All right, let me see. Let me open this one more place here. Cool. All right. Looks like that's about it. It is localgenius.com/HSMM. And let's see here. All clear is in. All clear is all clear. All right. Welcome to the mastermind, All Clear. All right. So I want to thank everybody for taking the time to be here. Also, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and we will hopefully see some of you on Monday. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your week.